Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A statute in draft before it becomes law. They held a public hearing on the bill. Publicize or announce by placards. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. An itemized statement of money owed for goods shipped or services rendered. He paid his bill and left. A sign posted in a public place as an advertisement. Demand payment. We were billed for 4 nights in the hotel, although we stayed only 3 nights. Horny projecting mouth of a bird. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. A brim that projects to the front to shade the eyes. He pulled down the bill of his cap and trudged ahead. A cutting tool with a sharp edge. He used a bill to prune branches off of the tree. Advertise especially by posters or placards. He was billed as the greatest tenor since Caruso. A list of particulars, as a playbill or bill of fare. The entertainment offered at a public presentation. A statute in draft before it becomes law. How much there is or how many there are of something that you can quantify. A basis for comparison. A reference point against which other things can be evaluated. They set the measure for all subsequent work. Any maneuver made as part of progress toward a goal. The situation called for strong measures. Determine the measurements of something or somebody, take measurements of. The act or process of assigning numbers to phenomena according to a rule. The measurements were carefully done. Express as a number or measure or quantity. Prosody. The accent in a metrical foot of verse. Measuring instrument having a sequence of marks at regular intervals. Used as a reference in making measurements. Musical notation for a repeating pattern of musical beats. Evaluate or estimate the nature, quality, ability, extent, or significance of. A container of some standard capacity that is used to obtain fixed amounts of a substance. Have certain dimensions. This table surfaces measures 20 inches by 36 inches. Publicize or announce by placards. A sign posted in a public place as an advertisement. Post in a public place. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. A piece of paper money, especially one issued by a central bank. He peeled off 5 1,000 zloty notes. A notation representing the pitch and duration of a musical sound. The singer held the note too long. A short personal letter. A promise to pay a specified amount on demand or at a certain time. I had to co-sign his note at the bank. Make mention of. They noted that it was a fine day to go sailing. Observe with care or pay close attention to. Take note of this chemical reaction. High status importance owing to marked superiority. Make a written note of. She noted everything the teacher said that morning. A comment or instruction, usually added. His notes were appended at the end of the article. Notice or perceive. She noted that someone was following her. A brief written record. He made a note of the appointment. A characteristic emotional quality. It ended on a sour note. A tone of voice that shows what the speaker is feeling. There was a note of uncertainty in his voice. An itemized statement of money owed for goods shipped or services rendered. Send me an account of what I owe. A record or narrative description of past events. He gave an inaccurate account of the plot to kill the president. Grounds. Don't do it on my account. To give an account or representation of in words. A statement of recent transactions and the resulting balance. They send me an accounting every month. The act of informing by verbal report. By all accounts, they were a happy couple. Keep an account of. A formal contractual relationship established to provide for regular banking or brokerage or business services. He asked to see the executive who handled his account. A statement that makes something comprehensible by describing the relevant structure or operation or circumstances, etc. I expected a brief account. A short account of the news. The account of his speech that was given on the evening news made the governor furious. Furnish a justifying analysis or explanation. I can't account for the missing money. Be the sole or primary factor in the existence, acquisition, supply, or disposal of something. Passing grades account for half of the grades given in this exam. Importance or value. A person of considerable account. The quality of taking advantage. She turned her writing skills to good account. An itemized statement of money owed for goods shipped or services rendered. Send and bill to. She invoiced the company for her expenses. A list of dishes available at a restaurant. A printed or written greeting that is left to indicate that you have visited. A sign posted in a public place as an advertisement. Golf. A record of scores, as in golf. You have to turn in your card to get a handicap. A witty, amusing person who makes jokes. Baseball. A list of batters in the order in which they will bat. The managers presented their cards to the umpire at home plate. Separate the fibers of. A printed circuit that can be inserted into expansion slots in a computer to increase the computer's capabilities. A card certifying the identity of the bearer. He had to show his card to get in. A rectangular piece of stiff paper used to send messages, may have printed greetings or pictures. They sent us a card from Miami. Ask someone for identification to determine whether he or she is old enough to consume liquor. I was carded when I tried to buy a beer. One of a set of small pieces of stiff paper marked in various ways and used for playing games or for telling fortunes. He collected cards and traded them with the other boys. Thin cardboard, usually rectangular. Make or write a comment on. discover or determine the existence, presence, or fact of. A sign posted in a public place as an advertisement. A request for payment. The act of noticing or paying attention. He escaped the notice of the police. Express recognition of the presence or existence of, or acquaintance with. Notice or perceive. Advance notification, usually written, of the intention to withdraw from an arrangement of contract. We received a notice to vacate the premises. An announcement containing information about an event. You didn't give me enough notice. A short critical review. The play received good notices. Polite or favorable attention. His hard work soon attracted the teacher's notice. A sign posted in a public place as an advertisement. A poster advertised the coming attractions. A horse kept at an inn or post house for use by mail carriers or for rent to travelers. Someone who pastes up bills or placards on walls or billboards. The transmission of a letter. A sign posted in a public place as an advertisement. Bookkeeping. A listing on the company's records. The posting was made in the cash account. Criminal law. A pleading describing some wrong or offense. He was arrested on a charge of larceny. Move quickly and violently. A quantity of explosive to be set off at one time. This cartridge has a powder charge of 50 grains. The quantity of unbalanced electricity in a body, either positive or negative, and construed as an excess or deficiency of electrons. The battery needed a fresh charge. Cause to be agitated, excited, or roused. The speaker charged up the crowd with his inflammatory remarks. Psychoanalysis. The libidinal energy invested in some idea or person or object. Freud thought of cathexis as a psychic analog of an electrical charge. Demand payment. Will I get charged for this service? Direct into a position for use. He charged his weapon at me. Blame for. Make a claim of wrongdoing or misbehavior against. He charged the director with indifference. Request for payment of a debt. They submitted their charges at the end of each month. Cause to be admitted. Of persons to an institution. File a formal charge against. The suspect was charged with murdering his wife. To make a rush at or sudden attack upon, as in battle. Give over to another for care or safekeeping. Provide, a device, with something necessary. Attention and management implying responsibility for safety. A special assignment that is given to a person or group. His charge was deliver a message. Heraldry consisting of a design or image depicted on a shield. A formal statement of a command or injunction to do something. The judge's charge to the jury. Attribute responsibility to. The tragedy was charged to her inexperience. An assertion that someone is guilty of a fault or offense. The newspaper published charges that Jones was guilty of drunken driving. The swift release of a store of effective force. Impose a task upon, assign a responsibility to. He charged her with cleaning up all the files over the weekend. Assign a duty, responsibility or obligation to. She was charged with supervising the creation of a concordance. An impetuous rush toward someone or something. The wrestler's charge carried him past his adversary. A person committed to your care. The teacher led her charges across the street. Cause formation of a net electrical charge in or on. Charge a conductor. Energize a battery by passing a current through it in the direction opposite to discharge. I need to charge my car battery. Enter a certain amount as a charge. He charged me $15. Fill or load to capacity. Charge the wagon with hay. Financial liabilities, such as a tax. The charges against the estate. Instruct a jury about the law, its application, and the weighing of evidence. Instruct or command with authority. The teacher charged the children to memorize the poem. Lie down on command, of hunting dogs. Make an accusatory claim. The defense attorney charged that the jurors were biased. Pay with a credit card. Pay with plastic money. Postpone payment by recording a purchase as a debt. Will you pay cash or charge the purchase? Place a heraldic bearing on. Charge all weapons, shields, and banners. Saturate. The room was charged with tension and anxiety. Set or ask for a certain price. How much do you charge for lunch? The price charged for some article or service. The admission charge. Horny projecting mouth of a bird. Informal terms for the nose. Hit lightly with a picking motion. A beak-like, tapering tip on certain plant structures. Beak-like mouth of animals other than birds, e.g., turtles. Horny projecting mouth of a bird. A long projecting or anterior elongation of an animal's head, especially the nose. Horny projecting mouth of a bird. The writing point of a pen. Bird with strong claws and a stiff tail adapted for climbing and a hard chisel-like bill for boring into wood for insects. Horny projecting mouth of a bird. Obscene terms for penis. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. A speech of violent denunciation. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. All of the armament that is fired from one side of a warship. Collide with the broad side of. The simultaneous firing of all the armament on one side of a warship. The whole side of a vessel from stem to stern. The ship was broadside to the dock. Toward a full side. A broadside attack. Having the shape or form of a circle. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. He mailed the circular to all subscribers. Describing a circle, moving in a circle. The circular motion of the wheel. Someone who travels by air. Someone who operates an aircraft. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. Someone who travels by air. someone who operates an aircraft. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. Thrown away. Throw away children living on the streets. An advertisement, usually printed on a page or in a leaflet, intended for wide distribution. Sometimes offensive. A homeless boy who has been abandoned and roams the streets. Intended to be thrown away after use. Throw away diapers. Words spoken in a casual way with conscious under-emphasis. A brim that projects to the front to shade the eyes. The highest point of something. At the peak of the pyramid. A V shape. The most extreme possible amount or value. Voltage peak. To reach the highest point. Attain maximum intensity, activity. That wild, speculative spirit peaked in 1929. The top or extreme point of something, usually a mountain or hill. The view from the peak was magnificent. A brim that projects to the front to shade the eyes. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. The peak of perfection. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.